I can't get mine. I'm getting flags. You look better looking on. I'm kidding. I'm just, you said that well.
In the yard, you can see all the leaves are off the shrub right there, yeah.
Good. Good. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice.
Is considered today is the International Day of Tolerance. Thank you for being tolerant of one another.
The person who cut me off in traffic this morning with a love over sticker. Epitome of irony. Okay. Announce that the meeting is being streamed live and available on YouTube. The chairman's report. The board met in executive session prior to tonight's meeting to discuss personnel issues. I'd also like to announce that the East Goshen Township Holiday Toy Drive has begun on the 10th and will continue through YouTube video that Jason and the kids produced. It's really, really kind of cool. You definitely need to see that. I think, are we collecting here at the building? So if you have things that toys to bring in for the toy drive, please do that between now and December 2nd. We have a public hearing tonight on our LED sign ordinance. We discussed this previously in public meetings, so everyone has read the draft ordinance.
Mr. Chairman, if I may throw.
Everyone has read the draft ordinance.
Okay, real quick, I just want the minutes to reflect that we follow the procedures under the state law in order to amend. We advertised tonight 2021, and we also had your planning commission review the ordinance, and they made a recommendation that the board adopted at their meeting on September 1st. So just so the public's aware, this came as a result of a company, Volta, who is interested in putting an electric vehicle charging station in. And in order to do that, the signage that they have on the actual charging station, the sign, and it didn't quite work. LED sign. It was really very it's integrated with electric vehicle charging station and located on an approved shopping center use. And the only other change to section 240.22, the maximum sign area for these types of signs is 12 square feet, maximum height of 8 feet tall, and they cannot produce any audio. So those are really the only changes to that particular ordinance section. Very limited in scope.
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, I move that we approve this amendment to the LED sign ordinance permitting LED signage when incorporated with electric charging, vehicle charging, or media stations within approved shopping centers.
I second the motion.
Any further discussion from the board? Any public comments? Seeing none, I'll call a question. All those in favor, aye.
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 Opposed, no. Motion carries 3-0. Thank you. Nice to charging station at the gym. Emergency service, I'm sorry, business item considering the position on sign variance request for 1311 Westchester Pike. The Imperial.
The property owner, applicant, you want him to apply.
That gave you a little bit more information about what we're looking at here. So.
Excuse me, can you tell us the applicant's name again, please?
Absolutely. The applicant is ALK Management LLC. They're the owner of the property located at 1311 Westchester Pike. With me is Albert Kazelian, Westchester Pike. And as you will see in your original packet that was sent to you with your board agenda, there were a couple pictures of what the property looked like. Money and time into fixing up this building so we can move his granite and marble company. And they've done a lot of work and it looks gorgeous, as you can see from the pictures that I just handed out. We're here because there are really two issues, and they're both related to signs. The first relates to the traditional wall sign that everyone knows of as a wall sign, and that is in the top right of the building. So your ordinance allows a sign that's 32 square feet in size. We're asking for just a small variance from all three of those. The first is we're hoping to go to 36 square feet instead of 32 square feet. We're hoping for a height of 2 feet and 10 inches instead of 2 feet. And it's going to be a little bit higher on the building than is permitted under the zoning ordinance at 15 feet and 9 inches to the bottom of the sign. 14 are permitted. But I also handed you a plan in the back. It's one of the two folded sheets that shows there's one that says road level on the plan itself. You'll see that the building is actually set down below the grade of the road. So the measurement to the bottom of the sign from the road level is only 11 feet and 10 inches. So it's set almost 4 feet below the grade of the road. And therefore, unfortunately, the ordinance requires you to measure the height from the base of the building and not from the road. But we'd ask your support in a variance to allow the sign to go a little bit higher. And right next to this building is the car wash, if you're familiar with the area. And their sign is actually higher than this on their building. That is lawfully non-conforming, but this wouldn't be out of character for the area. It's also, this building is set back from the road and from the neighboring properties. So it's somewhat difficult to see. So a slightly larger size is necessary in order to make sure that it's not missed. And this is a busy stretch of Westchester Pike, and so being set back, and there's a lot of there's some clutter with signs and telephone poles before the building. We felt as though people wouldn't actually see the sign as well if we didn't get this variance relief. So we're just looking for a little bit of relief from the zoning hearing board, and hopefully with your support, we'll get that for that sign. And then the other part of the application, as I'm sure you saw in Mr. Gordon's memorandum, I think he called it some interesting approach. The picture you can see on the front of the building, this right here that I'm pointing to, this I and this M that is sort of window trim on the front of the building. Mr. Gordon took the opinion that that was a sign as well. We somewhat disagree. We believe this is an architectural feature, and I don't think it meets the definition of a sign as required by our ordinance. But unfortunately, the time to appeal that